I thought I burned this, but the last time I wore it was 17 years ago. It's a navy blue, and it's probably pitted out because coaches wear dark on the road, so that's the reason for this. The most important thing I think today is bring back Titan football family. That's the most important thing. And to you, Danny Pasquale, and whoever helped you, thank you, because it wasn't for you, buddy. Where are you, Danny? Come here, let me see you. Let's give him a round. Remember, Danny's eyes were big as saucers. We went to Florida and got in that locker room. Remember, it was orange and blue, and we took pictures and stole them, and next year recruiting, we said that was our locker room. We did some of those things. Where I learned them, I have no idea. Along the way, and I talked for the 13 years I was here, in 1979, there was a gentleman by the name of Jim Coletto who went on, and Coach Dale talked about him, and Lucius. He was kind enough to tell me about the Cal State system, the budget, the people coming back, and it was like a large boulder was going off his shoulders onto mine. And even though it was 78 below zero back in Grand Forks, North Dakota, I wondered why. And today, I'm going to tell you why. You know, during those 13 years, we can talk about the players and the coaches. I mean, we had players go on and play in the NFL. We had an all-pro cornerback. His name was Mark Collins. He's a pretty darn good cornerback. We had Darren Gilbert. One of the big things this year is watching San Jose play Stanford. You want to talk about legacy. There's a guy that's Todd Gerhardt, plays for the Denver Gold, who's a great running back. Mouse Davis, the coach. And there's Darren Gilbert going with the Saints. So, and Coach Don Johnson, who's a defensive line coach with the Chargers now, I guess it's tampering, so he's not talking to Darren because his son will go in the top 2 rounds this year. And Todd's son, I'm not too sure he's not a better football prospect. He's a great prospect in baseball and football. So looking back at the people that we had play, we have a quarterback here tonight who holds the North American, that's what I say, he holds the North American passing professional record. Not the CFL, NFL. He has more damn yards than anybody in the history of football in the NFL or CFL. We've got before the smoke clears 4 guys who'll be in the CFL Hall of Fame. The last Titan standing, and Danny, you remember him, I think. He punted. We played Georgia that year, and he punted 12 times. That was a lot of fun. For Noel Prefontaine, and played with Damon last year, and certainly he's a big timer. We've got guys like Tom Hayes, who was on that team. He's retired. He coached the Redskins. Jim Coletto with Purdue and the Lions. Greg Robinson's now with Michigan. Wayne Nunley's with the Broncos. Went from the Chargers up there. Mike Heimerdinger, offensive coordinator with the Titans. Tom Cable. It's amazing. We've had football here for 22 years. We've had 2 head football coaches in the NFL. Steve Mariucci and Tom Cable, and Coach Corey, he was the head coach in the USFL. So we've had 3 head coaches. Eddie Donatel, defensive backfield coach of the Broncos. I talked about Don Johnson. Don and I were born in the same hospital in Jersey City. I was born a few years ahead of him. Hugh Jackson, quarterback coach with the Ravens. Richard Smith used to be the coordinator. Smitty is now the linebacker coach for the Carolina Panthers. Todd Gerhardt's at Norco. Bob Burt's at Notre Dame High School. Jim Chaney, gastric bypass, offensive coordinator, University of Tennessee. Richard Ellerson, who was at Cal Poly SLO. Rich is now, where Rich is now, he's the head coach at Army. Greg Newhouse, he is still at Oregon State. Jerry Brown, my son Jerry Brown, is his son here? Jerry Brown Jr. Steve Mariucci works for Jerry Brown Jr. at NFL Network. Dale Bunn, defensive coordinator, Victor Valley College, and Tim Burns. And if it wasn't for Tim Burns, Mike Pringle doesn't hold the CFL record. Block for him right here. One thing before I finish, you want to talk about great athletes here, and here comes Dale Bunn. Let me say, here's a guy that graduates from Cal State Fullerton, almost has his master's, almost, because he would have been hired at Fullerton College. Okay, but he played professional baseball, all right, and he played in the CFL. and he coached at Cal State Fullerton. Well, that's a pretty good resume for anybody, you know, to be in somebody's Hall of Fame. Okay.
He was a scratch golfer too, man.
That's right. He's scratch golfer. He'd also scratch other parts of his anatomy too. Hey, we've got people like Dr. Damian Macaluso. We got Dennis Ellis. I don't know if Dennis is here or not. Dennis here? Dennis Ellis. You want to talk about renowned, big time attorney. That's your gentleman right there in L.A. Then we have Steve Mariucci, who's a multimillionaire. So now, I talk about those people to tell you that the most important thing about the 13 years I was here was these are the famous ones, but there certainly was during that time a bunker mentality. It was us against them. And we're talking about players, we talked about coaches, but if we didn't have Ray Peterson or Jerry Goodwin, if we didn't have Allison Cohen, we didn't have the secretaries, Patty Sexton, if we didn't have the trainers, if we didn't have Jerry Lloyd or Cliff Hatter, if we didn't have those people behind us, if we didn't have the most important guy that's here, the caretaker of Titan Athletics, who I think is about as big time as anything that Cal State Fullerton could have athletically, is Mel Franks.
Oh, yeah. Yay! Yes!
And you know what my success is? I've got this sweater on and that's fine, but that's fleeting. Coaching, this relationship is the most important thing to me. This relationship, I don't care what era, the past, you know, I played Titan football. Well, not too many of us that did either play or coach, but that's a pretty good relationship. We had some great football players, we had some great coaches, and we had some great people. But our legacy is, if you look around, I see those little kids going by. My legacy is my children and my children's children, and we'll be known for that forever. And that's all I have to say, and I'm out of here. And who's up? Steve Mariucci. Call your game.